Thank you so much. I mean, it's a pleasure to have you here. Okay, so tell us about yourself and Ribh.
Okay, about myself, I'll try to make it as short as possible.
Sure.
So yeah, I have a major in economics. Then had spent the first 8 years of my career in traditional finance. 7 of that was in the traditional financial, that's banking sector, where I jumped across 3 banks, GTB, Heritage Bank, and finally Diamond Bank. And I was opportune to work in roles that cut across payments, merchant solutions, and of course, retail marketing. So e-business departments, worked with channels for a bit, then retail marketing in the last 4 years of my career there. So 2017, I left the banking sector, dabbled a little bit into fintech. So we built our first fintech solution, which is Shorty. Shorty was aimed at solving counterparty risk in commercial transactions locally. So basically, it's what you call what I ordered from versus what I got. So where a lot of people buy things from merchants, and what is delivered is not what they get. So we're looking to come up with an digital escrow solution that could kind of like intermediate those transactions to ensure that people actually got the value for what they paid for. And of course, also merchants also got payments, for products, they delivered. So yeah, that was an interesting journey. Then in 2021, we pivoted and we founded a stablecoin payment infrastructure, which was more like a pioneer on and off ramp infrastructure for Nigeria, then later on West Africa, which was ScaleX. It was an amazing journey, and I think for Ribh Finance, I've been part of the super team ecosystem, right, since the onset in Nigeria. And the hackathon last year, I believe Zubi, the leader, was like, "Hey, Emeka, we have a lot of conversations, right, and you have a lot of amazing ideas, and why don't you throw one of them in and work on it?" And I was a bit reluctant at the time, but I said, okay, let's see what happens. So I had a couple of amazing friends, engineers as well. We came together, and a couple of months later, we came fourth in the payments track, which was very, very competitive, right? And then here we are. So we were like, okay, let's give this a swing, right? So the team has been working really hard. Everyone pulling the strings, and it's been no surprise that we've been able to process. I mean, last year, towards the year end, we processed about 800,000, right? Last 2 months. Then this year, we processed about 2.6 thereabouts. So we've crossed 3.5 million total in volumes processed, right? And it's majorly serving, local businesses that are looking to, bridge that gap between not just payment, but also reach markets across Africa.
That's beautiful. So let's do a deep dive into Ribh, right? Yeah. What problem is Ribh solving, and what is the solution? More like break it down for non-Web3 natives. You get, yeah.
So I mean, like, to be very honest with you, the problems are a lot, right? But Ribh, like I mentioned earlier, was more like an experiment, right? We identified a few problems a lot of SMEs are facing locally, and we're like, hey, what on-chain solutions could we leverage to solve some of these problems? And so what tools could we use? So number one, stablecoins, which is like a big deal, right? Adoption going through the roof, especially in markets like West Africa.
Yeah.
And so one of the things it's very easy to read a lot in articles on X, people talking about how a lot of businesses need to start receiving payments in stablecoins, but that wasn't what we got from the market. These are businesses that have traditionally been running on fiat. The trust lies with the traditional financial solutions, in this case banks, where I'm coming from, and you can't just simply disrupt the banks in one go. So we realized that a lot of businesses needed exposure to stablecoins without essentially it being the medium of exchange, right? So it was easier for us to kind of like identify with businesses involved in global trade, like major importers, right? And one of the core problems a lot of them face is access to US dollars to pay their suppliers abroad, right? And we're like, hey, okay, how could we do this? Okay, we could bridge that with stablecoins, right? Which was very easy. A lot of people are doing it locally, right? But further insights kind of like revealed that there was more to it. If you are going to fix commerce with on-chain solutions, then you need to fix collections.
Right.
And that was the insight for us we got. And we set about the first iteration of Ribh was an app that gives a business access to a local account, which enables them to receive payments. And those payments are instantly converted to USDC. And that is the fastest way we realized if we are going to onboard businesses to the on-chain economy, then you needed to come up with a compliant, instant on-ramp framework. In this case, accounts tied to USDC. So one of the problems we are solving with that is the issues of currency devaluation. So with this, a lot of businesses don't need to worry about receiving payments, and while they are waiting for the next restocking, there is that cut on valuation. And I mean, we've seen the dollar going from about 900 last year to 1,500.
Right.
So imagine you're a business person and you got your stock, then you've not sold out, and this is what is you're taking that hit, and your naira, your local currency is in the bank, and this cuts across not just Nigeria but Cote d'Ivoire, Ghana, other markets. So that was the problem we set out to solve, and we believe we've done that. And then we started beta testing real quickly global payments, and that has been the very, very successful part of the business.
Right, amazing success story there. I mean, great work again, Emeka. So what is your business model? What's your business model like?
So we are keeping it really traditional. I mean, I come from a traditional background, right? And we're not really looking to, I mean, like leveraging stable coins and on-chain infrastructure, Solana particularly, already gives us access to lower transaction fees and all of that. So our business model is basically based on spreads on FX. We apply very tiny spreads, so we make on global trade payments, we get some spread from that. Then of course we charge transaction fees, because also we are working with partners that charge us transaction fees, so we try to pass that but make it as affordable as possible. And we're actually more affordable than the traditional solutions.
No, that's great. I mean, if you have a small business, please, Ribh is your guy. Okay. So I would have asked you, what is your go-to-market strategy? But you are in the market right now. So tell me, how did you penetrate the market? Okay.
So I mean, like I mentioned, in my last 4 years in the bank, I was into retail marketing. So basically, we were charged with selling banking solutions and products, loans, card solutions, merchant solutions, account solutions for businesses, to retail as well. So I've been in the mix of direct marketing, going to these market associations, going to businesses. So like I keep saying, we see Web3 as a tool. In as much as I'm deeply rooted in the ecosystem, I try not to over-engineer things. So one of the things we did was we leveraged direct marketing. So leveraging my past network over the years, I got to know a lot of businesses back from my days in the bank and all that. And it was just easy for me to like, hey, guy, what's good? What's happening? We have this for you. Give it a try, right? And a few of them were a bit reluctant, but due to that relationship, okay, let's do some test transactions. And that's the fun thing, right? Test transactions, 20K here, 15K here, 30K here. And you're not seeing that clients doing 100K, 200K, size transactions. And so so we're using direct marketing at the moment. We have more solutions coming out soon, which might need us to start applying, more flexible, go-to-market strategies. But for now, it's just direct marketing.
Amazing. I would have said who are your competitors, but we're not here to give them free ads. So, what would you say is your competitive advantage over your competitors? What do you have that they don't have?
So I think the number one is the fact that we're not just small, but we're very agile, which comes with, and that agility is also driven by the fact that we're building with blockchain technology, in this case stablecoins, right? Solana. So we are able to offer price points that a lot of these businesses can't, traditional players can't. And we've also been able to build our partnerships with leading, what I call them, Web3 service providers in other parts of the world. This gives us the advantage to actually, especially when it comes to global payments. So we're able to instantly make payments to various markets, like real quick, because of these relationships. And of course, again, at low cost. So that is our competitive advantage. We're agile, we're small, we know what we're doing, we're very experienced in the markets, and we're moving very fast.
Amazing. You are moving fast for sure.
Yeah.
Great work, Emeka. So what should we expect from Ribh in the coming months? What's popping? What should we look out for?
So this is not my first rodeo or second rodeo building in this space. So taking in all those experience, and one of the things we're trying to build here is, while we're, yes, of course, trying to ensure we keep growing the volumes processed once a month, we're also trying to build out Ribh to kind of like build upon what we have to, you could say, become a protocol in the future. And what do I mean by that? Collections right now is just for our clients, right? But we're seeing situations where a couple of partners are also reaching out to us. Hey, there's something unique about your collections framework, and we would love to have access to that. So we're seeing potentials for B2B integrations, right? And we're going to explore that. We're also looking to be the first provider that's coming up with stablecoin backed cards fully dedicated to businesses, not retail this time. So these are going to be cards that come with different perks, different incentives, right? And enables some businesses to, get into, even noobs are trying to start probably like dropshipping businesses, and we get access to certain merchants and stuff, to be able to, this card will basically give them more advantage, right? Then the big one is looking to actually build a truly on-chain marketplace. It's a very audacious challenge, but it's something we want to do. And this is because we're looking to ensure that the more centralized marketplaces have a whole lot of control over how businesses can assess which market, what fees you can charge and stuff. But we believe that there can be a truly decentralized marketplace where any merchant is able to come in, post their products, sell to any customer in any part of the world. That's all we're looking to.
Great work. I mean, we're going to be keeping tabs on you, Ribh, so watch out. Yeah, so let's jump into the Super Team NG side of things. We know that you're a Super Team NG founder, so we really want to know what role Super Team NG has played in your growth, and I mean, basically building you up and your company to where you are today.
So I mean, like it's always said, like, everywhere you go, like that Super Team is a hack, and for real, it is a hack. We're talking about a machine that currently in Nigeria is in, we have 36 states in Nigeria and we're in 30, right? That is massive, right? What that means is that as a builder in Nigeria, you have access to, and this is marked 30 states with different cultures, with different market psychologists. The northern people of the northern, the kind of business they focus on is different. Their approach to business is different. Southwest, south, and you can see that in the use of certain apps and solutions, right? So this very what will I call it, diverse markets gives you the ability to really stress test your product, right? As a Super Team builder, so you have access to early testers that are actually going to be early users as well of the product. You get feedback real time, and the feedback is always from a perspective of trying to make your product better, and you learn new things about your product as well. I can remember the last bounty we held last year, and some of the videos we got and the use cases, in fact, it actually unlocked more ideas for us, because we didn't actually know that our app could be used that way. So Super Team gives you the ability to really accelerate, and everybody should take advantage.
Right, amazing, great work. I want you to tell me, why do you think Startup Village is an important event for builders like yourself?
Yeah, I mean, Startup Village is long-term coming, right? Because these kind of gatherings are held across the globe in more advanced markets regularly, right? Like we have the likes of the Tokyo 2049, one will be held in Dubai, another I think is in Singapore. And this is where you have the gathering of some of the best founders. You see the best teams and enthusiasts, potentially investors, spectators, stakeholders. It's very important for us to hold activities such as this because it opens up not just the Solana ecosystem to the greater public, but it's also a place for a lot of knowledge sharing, right? And so yeah, I think this is going to be one of many startup villages we're going to be holding, and yeah, it's amazing to finally host this.
Thank you so much, Emeka. Great having you on the show today, and of course, Super Synergy is rooting for you. So cheers.
All right, thank you guys for having me. Have a great day.